they're trying to pull this. You see where their foot placement is? And he was one of the best hitters in all of AAA. It's very hard not to notice how strikingly similar they are. Everything that we're seeing in the minor leagues, his profile, his hit tool, everything that scouts are telling us, he knows how to hit. Alright guys, so I wanted to make this video today because I saw something pretty interesting about Vaughn Grissom on Baseball Savant after he was traded to the Red Sox, and I thought you guys might also find it interesting. So when you go to Baseball Savant, they've got this section when you scroll down here that shows similar batters to the player that you're looking at, and this section for Vaughn Grissom, the one that obviously stands out here is going to be Xander Bogaerts. And this got me kind of to thinking, I'm like, okay, well, Xander Bogaerts, Vaughn Grissom, that's kind of interesting. Xander's a great hitter. Like, how close of a type player are they? And it turns out really close, actually. So let's look at Vaughn Grissom here. He is 6'2", 210 pounds, bats ready, throws ready. And let's look at Xander, 6'2", 218 pounds, bats ready, throws ready. These guys are almost the exact same build. You look at Xander here compared to Vaughn Grissom. It's very hard not to notice how strikingly similar they are in terms of their build. Now, obviously, we can't base a lot of conclusions just on what their build looks like. So let's look at some statistics really fast. So Xander Bogaerts, just to recap for you, he was an international free agent signed with the Red Sox. So he got a little bit earlier start than Vaughn Grissom did in the minors. But Xander absolutely crushed the minor leagues. Like, let's look at his aggregate just to try to make this video quick. But basically, he was a 297 hitter in the minor leagues with an 866 OPS. Didn't steal a whole lot, but his on-base percentage, his slugging percentage, OPS, this is all what you want to kind of see out of a top prospect. And he really steadily improved. He never really struggled in the minor leagues at all. Now, let's pop over to Vaughn Grissom real quick. And we're seeing a very similar type profile. Now, Grissom was drafted out of high school, so he was a year or two behind Xander, and so basically all of his progression is a year or two behind. But it's almost the exact same type of progression as Xander Bogaerts had throughout the minors. He has done nothing but hit in the minor leagues. Every single year, we're talking 319, 378, 311, 324, 363, 312, 330. Those are his minor league years. Like every level that he's been at, he's batted on average 320 in the minors with an 884 OPS. I would say that these numbers are very, very similar to each other. But Vaughn Grissom has literally never struggled with the bat in the minor leagues. Now, this is just the minor leagues. So let's pop over to the big leagues. Let's take a look to see what we've got here. And when Vaughn Grissom was promoted, he skipped AAA altogether. So he was in AA for like a couple weeks, and they're like, we need you in the big leagues. Ozzie Albies is hurt. You're going to be our everyday second baseman for a while. And so he came up and he just did nothing but crush the ball. Like, he hit a home run at Fenway Park in his major league debut. I know you guys have seen that. But 291 batting average with a 792 OPS. That is outstanding for a 21-year-old player coming up in the big leagues. This last year, he basically didn't have a position. He wasn't in the big leagues very much, and that is only because Braves are so good, they didn't really have a spot for him. They were trying to contend for a title. Orlando Arcia just beat him out for the position, and so he spent the year in AAA. He had never been in AAA before, so let's take a look what he did in AAA. He hit 330 with a 501 slugging, 921 OPS, and 48 extra base hits in 102 games played. That is ridiculous. He had never played in AAA before, and he was one of the best hitters in all of AAA. And so I think a lot of people, too, when we trade for Vaughn Grissom, they're kind of forgetting this guy was like a top prospect. He was the minor league player of the year for the 2022 Atlanta Braves. Like, this is a year and a half ago. He was the best player in their farm system. But in terms of like his total production, it is such a similar comparison to these two. It's almost ridiculous. So really quick, let's look back at their numbers on the Baseball Savant page. So we're going to compare their ink here. Vaughn Grissom doesn't qualify, so his ink is like not bolded. But one of the things that you notice here is there's not a lot of red. There's some red here for Vaughn Grissom in 2022. And Xander Bogaerts, honestly, he's very average when it comes to a lot of his like in-depth metrics in Baseball Savant. But you know what? He gets results. Like his batting run value, one of the best in the league. When you kind of look back at Grissom or at Xander Bogaerts early in his career. Where I think that this right here is like the best comparison. This is him in 2016 when Xander Bogaerts came up, and in 2016 he was batting 294 with an 802 OPS, 21 home runs, 34 doubles. That essentially is, I think, what we're looking at for Vaughn Grissom. Now, I know that sounds really aggressive, but everything that we're seeing in the minor leagues, his profile, his hit tool, everything that scouts are telling us is he knows how to hit. He can hit. He's never not hit. He's hit at the big league level already. And when he was sent down, and that probably mentally was kind of difficult after producing at the big league level in 2022, he was sent down, didn't play very much last year. He still just crushed the minor leagues. Let's look at some video really quick here. And so, because we've looked at a lot of this stuff, and it's like, you're probably saying, okay, well, that's fine and all, but like they're not the same type of hitter, right? Like they can't be the same type of hitter. Well, I just got a couple of video examples here, and I want you to take a look, not at the stance, because the stance is totally different because they're different type of hitters, but I think stance is overrated. I think you need to look at like how they're connecting on the baseball. So let's go through this really slow. And so we'll see here how they load up and look at the connection here. This is the same type of pitch, inside fastball. Boom. So look at exactly how Vaughn Grissom here is looking compared to Xander Bogaerts. This is an inside fastball. Xander's loaded up. His hands are right there, shoulders down. Vaughn Grissom, it's almost the exact same look. Now, let's go back a little bit. This is how their batting stance is. Not even the same batting stance at all. He's way more open, Vaughn Grissom is, than Xander. Xander's very up and down. But when they connect on the ball, it is almost the same connection. That right there, that is almost exactly how it looks. This is an inside fastball. So I've got another example here because I'm like, okay, well, that's just one. But let's go. This is an outside pitch. And when they're going to connect here, this is an away pitch. So you see where his foot is? Both their feet here, they're planted, but they're planted to take this the opposite field. Both of them smack this ball, and they're both going to get doubles out of this. Now we're going to go back over here. This is an inside pitch. They're trying to pull this. You see where their foot placement is? They both turn their foot over here, and they pull that and they crush it for a home run. So when you're looking at the batting profile of both of these guys, they are very, very similar in not only how they're connecting with the baseball, but also their statistics in the minor leagues, their build, their everything. So at the end of the day, guys, I think that we're looking at a guy here who really could perform at the big league level. I think that he is that Xander Bogaerts type profile, and we don't need him to be elite defensively. I know that that's always the concern that's kind of brought up, but in reality too, like from an offensive standpoint, shortstop is overrepresented right now with really good shortstops. You look at shortstop right here, we got Corey Seager, J.P. Crawford, Francisco Lindor, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., Bo Bichette, Xander Bogaerts, Trey Turner, Dansby Swanson. Like that's 9 shortstops that I just listed that are really good offensively, or at least above average offensively, are going to provide a lot with the bat. Now, when we look at second base, here are some of the top bats. Mookie Betts is now transitioning to second base, but we got Betts, Marcus Semien, Ozzie Albies, Luis Arias, and then it kind of drops off. We got Ketel Marte, Ha-Sung Kim, Gleyber Torres, Nico Horner. These aren't bad bats, but really there's only like 3 or 4 really good hitters at second base, whereas at shortstop with Xander Bogaerts, you got like 9, 10, 11 guys that are above average hitters. So if you have a guy like Vaughn Grissom, who's going to be brought up, and you're going to put him at second base. You're going to pair him with a guy like Trevor Story, who Trevor Story is going to help that infield defense this next year if he's healthy, and he's going to make it easier for Vaughn Grissom to maybe be that average or slightly below average defender. But everything that I hear about this guy, he works really hard. His hit tool is not something that he needs to improve on. It's already there. And if we're talking a guy who's going to be able to come up and be that Xander Bogaerts level of production, I mean, we're talking somebody who's probably going to hit 35 doubles a year and maybe 15 to 20 homers. And you know what? He's a little bit faster than Xander, so we'll throw in 15, 20 stolen bases. And the only reason the Braves were getting rid of him is, one, obviously they wanted to get Chris Sale to try to push for that championship run, but they really didn't need Vaughn Grissom. They don't have a spot for him, and he's just not somebody in their current equation for success. But Chris Sale is going to help them take over the top. Now, if that's what we got for a season of Chris Sale, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, but other than that, I'm thrilled about it. Anyway, that's the video that I got today, guys. Hopefully that was interesting to you. I think that I'm really excited to see what Vaughn Grissom does. If you like this type of content, just let me know, like the video. I'd love to make more stuff like this. It's a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to try to do more things like this moving forward. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.